Hello, hello. We are entering our first review of the course material, and I'm going to read what the introduction to the reviews entails, and then I will cover lesson 51, which covers 5 of the other lessons. Beginning with today, we will have a series of review periods. Each of them will cover 5 of the ideas already presented, starting with the first and ending with the 50th. There will be a few short comments after each of the ideas, which you should consider in review. In the practice periods, the exercises should be done as follows. Begin the day by reading the 5 ideas with the comments included. Thereafter, it is not necessary to follow any particular order in considering them, though each one should be practiced at least once. Devote 2 minutes or more to each practice period, thinking about the idea and the related comments after reading them. Do this as often as possible during the day. If any of the 5 ideas appeals to you more than the others, concentrate on that one. At the end of the day, however, be sure to review all of them at once. It is not necessary to cover the comments that follow each idea either literally or thoroughly in the practice periods. Try rather to emphasize the central point and think about it as part of your review of the idea to which it relates. After you have read the idea and the related comments, the exercises should be done with your eyes closed and when you are alone in a quiet place, if possible. This is emphasized for practice periods at your stage of learning. It will be necessary, however, that you learn to require no special settings in which to apply what you've learned. You will need your learning most in situations that appear to be upsetting rather than in those that seem to be calm and quiet. The purpose of your learning is to enable you to bring the quiet with you and to heal distress and turmoil. This is not done by avoiding them and seeking a haven of isolation for yourself. You will yet learn that peace is part of you and requires only that you be there to embrace any situation in which you are. And finally, you will learn that there is no limit to where you are, so that your peace is everywhere as you are. You will note that for review purposes, some of the ideas are not given in quite their original form. Use them as they are given here. It is not necessary to return to the original statements, nor to apply the ideas as we suggested them. We are now emphasizing the relationships among the first 50 ideas we have covered and the cohesiveness of the thought system to which they are leading you. So before I go into the lessons, I want to just point out that what we are doing is we are attempting to begin to correlate all of these lessons together so that you can see that there is a path that we are taking. We are also looking to learn the lessons and not have to do them necessarily verbatim and not have to do them in a structured setting, so that when you are driving in traffic, when you are in the middle of a heated argument, when you are walking into any kind of stressful situation, you have these as tools at your fingertips. And that's what they're meaning by bringing peace with you. When you have these kind of ingrained, you can use them more readily. And I think about when medical professionals do all of their practice drills for traumas or emergency situations, they do that so that when those situations arrive, it's more of an automatic response rather than having to critically think through every step. And so if you watch first responders and you watch medical professionals in those crisis situations, they are not having the stress of trying to make decisions because they've already made those decisions in their mind. They know what they're doing. Okay, so on to lesson 51 and the first 5 reviews. Number 1, nothing I see means anything. The reason this is so is that I see nothing and nothing has no meaning. It is necessary that I recognize this, that I may learn to see. What I think I see now is taking the place of vision. I must let it go by realizing it has no meaning, so that vision may take its place. I have given what I see all the meaning it has for me. I have judged everything I look upon, and it is this and only this that I see. This is not vision. It is merely an illusion of reality, because my judgments have been made quite apart from reality. I am willing to recognize the lack of validity in my judgments because I want to see. My judgments have hurt me, and I do not want to see according to them. I do not understand anything I see. Number 3. How could I understand what I see when I have judged it amiss? Reread that. How could I understand what I see when I have judged it amiss, when I've judged it wrongly? What I see is the projection of my own errors of thought. I do not understand what I see because it is not understandable. There is no sense in trying to understand it, but there is every reason to let it go and make room for what can be seen and understood and loved. I can exchange what I see now for this merely by being, I can exchange what I see now for this merely by being willing to do so. Is not this a better choice than the one I made before? Did you catch that? Because I didn't read that one well. I do not understand anything I see, and the reason I don't understand anything I see is that I have made judgments about what I think I'm seeing. And that's not understandable because it's wrong. And I would gladly let go of what I think I see for what the truth is. Okay. These thoughts do not mean anything. The thoughts of which I am aware do not mean anything because I'm trying to think without God. What I call my thoughts are not my real thoughts. My real thoughts are the thoughts I think with God. I am not aware of them because I have made my thoughts to take their place. I'm willing to recognize that my thoughts do not mean anything and to let them go. I choose to have them be replaced by what they were intended to replace. My thoughts are meaningless, but all creation lies in the thoughts I think with God. The thoughts that do not mean anything are make-believe, basically. And so if someone is telling a story about what happened and none of it is factual, they don't mean anything. They're just words. And that's sort of the idea of what that one means. I'm never upset for the reason I think. I'm never upset for the reason I think because I am constantly trying to justify my thoughts. I am constantly trying to make them true. I make all things my enemies so that my anger is justified and my attacks are warranted. I have not realized how much I have misused everything I see by assigning this role to it. I have done this to defend a thought system that has hurt me and that I no longer want. I am willing to let it go. We look at things when we are upset as a form of attack. And if we are looking at things and thinking that we are victimized or wrong or wounded, we are looking at it upside down and we are trying to make it okay for us to feel badly. And so we make up reasons. And if we are willing to let that go, peace is always there. Okay. Those are the lessons. I'm going to move right in to the year of forgiveness. This is kind of a long part today. Okay. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. It is important to review some of the concepts and ideas introduced to your mind so far. As you look back over these lessons, we want you to remember them. We want you to remember we do this work together to relieve your mind of suffering caused by your misdirected, misinterpreted, and distorted thoughts. We work together to retrain the mind to align with love. That is what we are doing. We also retrain the mind to become more peaceful so that you can hear the inner guidance. We work together to demonstrate that we understand you do not know what's in your best interest. When you suffer, You are given direction by your emotional guidance system that tells you when you go off track. We do these lessons because you know there must be a better way than the way you live now. We want you to understand the importance of reviewing these lessons. It demonstrates that you have learned some interesting things, and you need to review, practice, and use them in your day whenever you encounter a situation that these lessons become applicable as a way to relieve your suffering. These thoughts, ideas, lessons, beliefs, and concepts become natural at some point. You might already use them when you get distressed, angry, or frightened. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and this is the most powerful mind training program available to you as Westerners at this time. It was designed for the Western mind to be used during these times by those of you motivated to bring into existence a more loving experience for you, your friends, your family, and the planet. We want you to remember this when you slip or become disillusioned with this work, because it happens. You get tired of the practice periods. The ego nags at you. People upset you. You feel this practice makes extra work, but it is not extra work. It lessens the effort over time. Over time, you will find that you do not battle with yourself and others as much. You do not regret or fear as much. All these things use up your precious energy. As you come more into alignment, you have access to more energy, creativity, and guidance. Do not despair when you struggle or have difficulties with these lessons. We encourage you to continue. Even if you feel you've done it imperfectly or that you could have done more but you didn't. Make tomorrow the day that you decide, I'm going to do it exactly as described in A Course in Miracles. I'm going to dedicate myself to these lessons because I have seen what my mind creates. I have seen what my mind gets up to when not trained by a loving teacher, and I don't want to spend the rest of my life experiencing that. That really is what we get rid of here. We eliminate your suffering, fears, and eventually your sickness and death. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and we will see you tomorrow. So they're emphasizing the purpose of reviews. First and foremost, we don't learn these things without that repetition and without that review. It's time and time and time again. It becomes automatic. What this automation does, and that's what I heard when they were referring to that, is it removes the fear. The reason that as a medical professional we practice things over and over again is so that when we are faced with an urgent, emergent crisis situation, we are not paralyzed by fear because we have those tools so deeply ingrained in the way that we operate that they are like walking. If we became fearful every time we walked, we would never get anywhere. But we practice and we practice and we practice until it's just a natural thing. And so use the review periods. Use every single one of those lessons. If you need to, take a picture of them. If you do not have the book and you're listening to this, write them down. Get one of the apps that has the Course in Miracles lessons so that you can refer to it. And then in those moments that you are faced with a minor crisis, a little irritation, try and bring these lessons up. Try and remember what we are using them for so that you can begin to rethink everything that you are getting upset about in your life. I will tell you it's much more enjoyable to drive down the road telling someone I forgive you and I release you with an understanding that we are not being attacked and no one is out to get us than it is to drive around yelling at every driver because they are purposely getting in your way or purposely making you slow or purposely trying to hit you, whatever your belief system is. So with the review, again, it's a lot. And yet it is a review. And so the tests that come after review are the tests that come in life. We're not doing an examination of multiple choice, but what will happen is when you are faced with these situations in your real world, um, you will have tools and you will see what it's like when you use them. And then you will see the difference when you don't use them. I hope this is helpful. There are several days of reviews coming up. And so I'm looking forward to doing more of these with you. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.